Hey folks, very quick one today. Just an update linked to something that seemed to happen such a long time ago, and that is the situation with BNT, or BrandNewTube.com, and more importantly, that hack that happened. Remember that? BrandNewTube is the website that Sean Atwood and Sonia Poulton joined forces to promote to their viewers as an alternative to YouTube. Back when many of us watched Sean Atwood before he released the eye-opening, to say the least, Daddygate video, which was, in his words, the sickest thing he could think of, you'll remember that BrandNewTube actually subsequently severed ties with Mr. Atwood after he admitted, again, in his words, taking advantage of a trafficked vulnerable person. But this was actually to BNT's credit, as very few companies actually cut ties with Mr. Atwood in the aftermath of the Daddygate video, other than the School Speakers organisation, although I don't fully know their reasons for removing him from their books. But BrandNewTube had their own issues, which arose shortly after all this, when they were hacked and user data was apparently posted on a hacker's forum. It was quite big news on YouTube. Seems like such a long time ago now, but while we've all been moving on, a guy by the name of Samuel Collingwood Smith launched High Court legal action against BrandNewTube, its founder, Mohammed Butt, and Sonia, I smoked 500 cigarettes a day when I was pregnant, Poulton. I don't really know if it was per day, but yes. Back in November, Mr. Smith launched his legal action suing the aforementioned defendants for £100,000, which I believe was over some statements that both Sonia and Mohammed had allegedly made about Mr. Smith in the aftermath of the hack, as well as apparently a breach of GDPR on the part of BrandNewTube. We've now had an update on the court case on a blog post by Mr. Smith himself, which I will link below. And I'm just going to very quickly go over what I gleaned from it, but I recommend you go over and read the whole thing yourself because it's quite interesting and it's quite funny in parts as well. So this blog post tells how Sonia Poulton, Mohammed Butt and BrandNewTube.com have failed to file defences to the court action, which was filed 3 months ago, and have simply been instructing their lawyer to ask for extensions. During a recent telephone hearing about the case, during which both Sonia and Mohammed were present, they asked for yet another extension, which didn't go down too well with the court. I'm not a lawyer, so again I do suggest you read the article yourself, but it looks as if the court has had enough of these requests for extensions and ordered that the defendants actually file a defence by the 25th of March. Or judgment will be made in favour of Mr. Smith, meaning the defendants will lose the case, and that could end up stinging them for the £100,000 which has been asked for. The court has also made an order that the defendants must pay some costs, a very small amount, just under £100, but this costs order is quite important because it means that the defendants will never be able to claim their own costs back for all those times that their lawyer has asked for extensions, and these lawyers' instructions are not cheap, and their lawyer of choice was also not cheap, and it means that they've lost that money that they now spent on the lawyer. Now incidentally, the lawyer has also stopped acting for them. I've got no idea why, but they are now attempting to represent themselves, and apparently that isn't going so well. So it's quite a hairy situation at the moment for Mohammed, Sonia and BrandNewTube. They've lost any hope of getting their costs back, and if they fail to file a defence in the next few days, they're going to lose the case, and they've got no lawyer acting for them. Mr. Smith also asks in his blog why Sonia was even present at the hearing, because he kind of gave her an opportunity to back out as a defendant, from what I can gather. Mr. Smith filed what's called a partial discontinuance after Sonia either retracted or explained some of her alleged statements about Mr. Smith, and I believe that filing by Mr. Smith would have allowed Sonia to take a step back out of this, but she actually appeared at the court hearing with Mohammed Butt, which is a little bit confusing, so who knows what's going on there. Anyway, I'll certainly keep people updated on this. It is going to be really interesting to see what defences are filed, if any, by the deadline, which is only a few days away. I do recommend that you check out the blog if you want more info on this one. There is quite a lot of information in the most recent post and the initial post from November, and I think you can also see the actual action as well if you go over there. And I'll certainly be looking forward to the next update on this. But anyway folks, I will leave that one there. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to like the video. Turn on the notification bell as well, because that seems to help counteract the fact that YouTube is sometimes broken, and it means you'll actually get notified of the next video. But that's that just now folks. I'll see you next time. Cheers.